Hello, Zen friends. Today we're going to talk about bedtime routines. What routines do you have? And for a lot of people who have trouble sleeping, what are things that prevent you from getting the rest that you, in a lot of cases, so desperately need? Things like stress and anxiety, or perhaps your sleep environment. Your surroundings are not conducive for having a good night's rest. Of course, there's always those pesky electronic devices that keep us tapped in and keeping our brains going and awake. Not having a good sleep schedule also comes into play. It's important to make sure that you are keeping a routine with those items. And I do want to mention in the background is a new sleep video just a few days ago was posted, just to kind of get you in that relaxation mindset, featuring Twinkle, Twinkle Little Star. And then of course there are things like sleep hygiene that can prevent us from getting a good night's rest. You know, our eating habits and activities before going to bed. See, I had some real struggles with all of that, as well as just turning off the noise in my brain when I would try to go to sleep. I couldn't stop the worry. So one of my things was like, whether it was work or a bill I got in the mail, I just started to establish good habits. I didn't, I kept my mail for in the morning. And then I had a wind down time that would begin so that it would help me prepare for sleep. And of course, for those of us with smartwatches, you can set sleep time bed reminders and gauge where you are. So that's something that is a great help for me, especially telling me like I can look at my watch in the morning and see how many hours of sleep that I got. Last night I got 7 hours and 45 minutes of sleep, which that's pretty good for me. So, some things that would help with the process of sleeping and winding down, establish for sure that consistent sleep schedule. Try to go to bed at the same time every day that you can, and then also wake up at a certain time. So my sleep timer on my watch will wake me up at a specific time every day. And so that kind of gets me on a rhythm, and it'll kind of regulate my internal clock, which is really good for people to do. And then, of course, making sure that you just have a really relaxing atmosphere for bed. I have smart lights all through my home, and you can't really see it right now, but you can see the reflection of one in this mask. But believe it or not, blue was my go-to color for years. But in this brown wooded room, the pink just bounces off. It's like a pink purple that bounces off of the wood, and it's so soothing. It just instantly makes me feel calm. So I'll have colored lights that are on, and those help me kind of get into the right mindset. There are some things that people could do also. I don't do this every day. I wish I did it more. Read a book, taking warm baths. Certainly, meditations are a great way to unwind. This one, the ballerina video that you're listening to in the background, I believe that's like 5 minutes or so. It's not really long. It's definitely under 10 minutes. So for those of you who don't have a lot of time, where you just you want to listen to something for 10 minutes and then shut off your device because, the whole device thing, a video like that is good, perhaps do an hour before you go to bed. But that can kind of help you get into that place of quiet and unwind time, right? And then, with the devices, it's really hard. I wear my watch to bed, so it records sleep data. But guess what? The sleep mode on it doesn't show me the notifications, which is very helpful. But definitely limiting whether it's iPads or phones or watches, you want to just do what you can to kind of get that in that right place to where you are keeping yourself good for bed. And then as far as like sleep hygiene, having your last cup of coffee, I try to stop at 3. I got to get better at that myself. But sometimes I do have a little bit of coffee later in the day if I'm editing, because that is some fuel that keeps me going. But yeah, the caffeine intake is something that can take us all for a wake journey late into the evening hours, which you want to watch that. Having exercise is good in your life. However, you want to make sure you do that earlier in the day, not too close to bedtime, because you don't want to get yourself all endorphined up and wanting to continue on and moving about. Other things, your environment, your bed. Make sure that you're sleeping in clean sheets. Nothing is greater than smelling. My favorite detergent that I use that is so just wonderful to smell after you take them out of the dryer. And then having your pillows and your bed be cozy and comfortable. Whether you're into memory foams or a firm mattress, whatever that may be, firm pillows, fluffy pillows, just make sure that you have everything that you need. Body pillows, I definitely use that to sometimes wrap my legs around and be comfortable. And probably for me, one of the most important elements to a good sleeping environment is the temperature. I like to keep the air cool. I don't sleep so well when I'm too hot. So even in the winter, if I'm using an electric blanket, I will sometimes push that to the side. And your temperature, you want it to be something that you're comfortable at. I kind of like it at 62 or somewhere in there, much lower than the temperatures during the day. So, those are some things that definitely help me with maintaining a good sleep routine. Now, they do have apps for your sleep data if you collect that with your smartwatches. And I use something that's just simply called Sleep Data, and it is phenomenal the way that it will display the data. You can look at last night, this month, and a year ago. You can decide what information you want to see and kind of see where you're at, engage what's going on. Those are really key to knowing where you're at. Before I had a smartwatch, I would wake up and I would be like, oh my God, I was so dragging today. And I didn't always immediately think, why am I dragging and how much sleep did I get? Well, the watches tell you down to the minute where, how much deep sleep you got, how many breaths you took per minute. They'll tell you which hour and what minute you took the least amount of breaths and the most amount of breaths. It's amazing what these phones can tell you. And for anyone who might have sinus issues, it'll tell you sinus issues that you may have faced during the night. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the routines. And I would love to know your bedtime routines. Please comment down below and share those. I think that we all have our various things that we do that are wonderful for getting to sleep. The falling piece, that is one of my favorite, sleep meditation videos. That's one of the ones that I created, and I was like, back before I started my meditation channel, I started creating my own meditations, and I was like, I should share these, and I'm glad that I did. But that particular one with the waterfall is absolutely one of my favorites. So I figure we could wind things down and just let's have a meditative moment together for a couple of minutes. Let's just go ahead, and if you're comfortable with it, close your eyes and just picture that ballerina slowly turning and spinning. Listen to the words. Can you hear the echo? The tenor in the voice, lulling us to a place of comfort. Just take some nice, even, deep breaths in, filling the lungs and releasing slowly through the mouth. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Let's hold it for 3 seconds and release. Let's just sit in silence for a minute and take in the music. And if your eyes are open, just gently stare at those visuals that you see of that peaceful ballerina. It's so soothing. That's very calming. Well, I hope that you have some tools. Maybe you might have heard something that you weren't thinking of or wasn't on your radar. But I wish everyone a good night's rest and a good journey for getting your life and mental health on track, and to be the best person that you can be going forward. Life gets messy, it certainly does. A lot of things we can't control. There are some things that we can control. And your bedtime routine, that's something you've got in the bag. You guys have a great day. And again, I'd love to hear your bedtime routines. What works for you, what doesn't work. Comment down below. Hit the like button. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care and be well. Bye, guys.